Hello students. So in this video we are going to see about filters and transitions in the HTML. So already I have written the programs over here. So in this program, for all the filters I have written a program separately. So I'll just open and show the coding of each and everything, and I'll show you the output also. So I'm just clicking on the alpha filter first. So I'll just right click and open with first I'll open with the coding. So I'll use a Sublime text editor. Okay, I don't have here. So I'll do one thing. I'll just open the Sublime text editor, file, open, and here I'm going to select I'll select open folder first, file, open folder, and here I'll select filters. Now inside this I'm selecting the filters folder. Now you can see all the files are coming over here. So I'm going to select alpha.html first. So this is the alpha.html program, and you can see here inside the head section I created a style tag, style type equal to text/css, and I have given only, as we have seen in the classes, the same program I am written here. So inside the h1 I gave the h1 width. I already said in the class also. So for h1 and div tag both we have to give width and as well as height. So if I don't specify width and height, my filters or transition may not work. So that is the reason for h1 also I am specifying the width, as well as div tag I am specifying both width and height. So these are the mandatory properties, CSS properties, which you have to give for if you want your filters or transitions to work. And under the body section I have created a h1 tag. You can see here h1 I gave alpha, just notice that point very clearly, and for h1 and one more h1 I gave style. And notice one thing, for welcome to WP, welcome to web programming, WP is a h1 tag, and I've given a style attribute for that. And what is the property which I give? Filter colon alpha, which we already discussed in the class. So filter colon alpha, and within the parenthesis I give opacity. Opacity is the parameter, and I have given the value as 30. So opacity means already we have seen it will just diminish in the background. So h1, for h1 I give the opacity as 30. Similarly for the images, I already said in the class, for image directly you can't give filter. So you have to give this image tag under the div tag. So you have to give the image tag under the div tag. So you have to specify your style only for the div tag, not for the image tag. So you have to apply your filter property only for the div tag, not for the image tag. So if you can see here, style equal to filter colon alpha, same opacity I gave 30. Fine. Now I want to execute this. So for executing, just I'll go to the thing, and you have to be very careful. You have to execute this in the Internet Explorer only. That too version below 9. 9 also it works. So 8 or 9. So I'm going since in this system I have 8, so I'm going to execute in Internet Explorer. Open with Internet Explorer 8, and as soon as you open, you will be getting the alert like this. So it is asking you to enable the Activex control, because in those days they don't have these facilities. So you have to enable it manually. So just click on that and allow blocked content. Just click on that, and it will ask you confirm box. Are you sure want to run this active content? Yes. Now you can see here, welcome to WP is somewhat dull. Hope you notice that, and the image is also very dull. Just I'll refresh this page. I'll execute this program once again. Now again I have to open this. Now before opening, you just see the difference. You'll understand what I mean. Now you see here how bright it is. Okay. Now as soon as I click the allow block content and yes, you can see the difference over there. It has been diminished, somewhat dull. It's fine. This is about alpha property. I hope you understood that. So similarly, we have blend trans property. Before going to blend trans, I'll go to the next property, which is blur. So I'll just select this filter, blur. And in this also I'm again the same coding. I didn't change anything. Just I'll show you side by side. I'll show you side by side. You can understand it very clearly what I mean. So this is the blur, and in this blur, if you see here, I give blur strength equal to 30, and for alpha I gave alpha opacity equal to 30. Now you see here, just side by side I am showing you. This is a blur and this is alpha. So same coding only, there is no change. So in alpha we have a property known as parameter known as opacity, whereas in blur we have a parameter known as strength, which we already discussed in the class. So here also for h1 I have to give width, and for diff I have to give width and height. So when I execute this particular program, I just save this and I go to my program. I'm just right clicking this, open with Internet Explorer. As soon as I click, and again now you see that this image is very bright. I'm just clicking allow blot content. Every time you have to click this, and you can see that the image is so blurry. Okay, so it is, when you take a photograph it will be shaken, right? So same manner. So it is blurry over there. And later if I want to show, go for flip H. So this is a flip H program. So in this flip H program, same manner, flip H doesn't have any parameters as we discussed in the class. So both are created, flip H as well as flip V. Fine. So I'll just execute this program now and just go to that browser, file, open with Internet Explorer. Now you see that text, everything is fine. See the image, see the text, everything is fine. But as soon as I enable this, you can see the difference over there. Welcome to WP has been horizontally flipped, and welcome to WP here it has been vertically flipped. Even the image is also vertically flipped, and you can notice this here also the image is horizontally flipped. You can please notice that very clearly. This penguin over here will come on the left hand side, but now it has come on the right hand side. I hope you understood that. So image is also flipped over here. So programs are very easy as we discussed in the class. I'm just showing you how it works since you have asked. And here it is glow. Next filter is glow. So I'm going to show you in glow we have two parameters. This many people had doubts in the class when we were discussing. Glow had two parameters. Now you see color equal to red, no need to give within the double quotes, and after that I have to provide a comma, then I'm going to give a strength. So in this I have two parameters, that is color and strength. So for filter glow I gave color red, and for image also I gave color red, and strength I gave as 20. So strength is nothing but the intensity or density of that particular glow. So I'll just go to the folder, I'll click on this glow, open with Internet Explorer. Now again I'm clicking on this. You can see that the image as well as the text has a glow at the background. If I decrease the number of strength, the strength value if I decrease, then the glow will be somewhat minimum, it will not be maximum. I hope so you understood this now. And one more thing is gray. Gray is nothing but, as we already seen, it will come in black and white color. And the main point to note here is that gray doesn't have any parameters. Fine. So I am going to my folder. There is nothing to explain here, the same thing. I am not doing anything else. So here I didn't give for H1, I am doing gray only for image. Why I am not doing for text? Because already text is in black color. So you can't identify any difference. So that's the reason I am doing only for image. So now I will go to a folder, gray, right click, open with Internet Explorer. I'll just click on this. And you can see here, I got the output as this gray color image. Earlier it was in color, now it has converted into black and white. I hope you understood that now. Next we'll go on to invert. In invert also the same manner, I am not giving any parameters. Please notice that one very clearly, and I am giving again to an image. Now some of you have got the confusion between sir invert and X-ray. What will be the difference? Now I am going to show you the difference between invert and X-ray. So I'll just click on invert, open with Internet Explorer. Right click, yes. Now you see that invert just switches the color. Whichever is dark will be light, whichever is light will become dark. Now you notice that one, this is not X-ray, this is invert. I am just inverting the color. Now I will display the X-ray program. See, this is the X-ray program over here. Just instead of invert, excuse me. Instead of invert, I replaced with X-ray. That's it. So within the parentheses also I didn't specify anything. So now I am going to execute X-ray also. Then I'll show you the output side by side. You'll understand it better. So notice this point is a color image. Yes, you see that. Now this is X-ray. and this is the invert. You can see the difference. Did you see that there is some color available in invert, whereas in X-ray we don't have any color. So this is how we have to understand the invert as well as X-ray. I hope you understood that. And the next one is motion blur. So motion blur, already we have seen when the image or anything, image or text, when it is in movement, we can see there is some disturbance in that. And when you are typing the program, you have to provide a space, motion space blur, and here we have only one parameter, that is strength. And strength I gave as 220 so that the intensity will be more. So I'll just save it and execute for you guys. I'm clicking on motion blur, right click, open with Internet Explorer. Now if I click on that allow block content, and yes, you can see that this is motion blur. The intensity is so much, and you can see it is so blurry, and it is according to that motion itself. When you are traveling or something, the same picture will be like this. And the other one is shadow. Now many of you got confused between this also. What is the difference between shadow and drop shadow? So in shadow and drop shadow we have only one difference. In shadow we have the parameters known as strength and color, but whereas in drop shadow we also have one more external parameter which is known as direction. Okay, so direction I gave as 100, and you can see here I gave a hexadecimal color code. We already discussed this in the class. So FF00FF, which indicates red color. Fine. So I'm going to give the same over here. So I'm going to save this, go to my browser, shadow. So shadow and drop shadow, same program I executed so that you can understand it clearly. So click on that, allow blocked content, yes. Now you see this is shadow. So for shadow I gave blue color, and you can see the shadows appearing on top of the text and behind the text. And drop shadow, you can see a difference over there between shadow and drop shadow. Here in shadow we are getting like this, and in drop shadow you can see that the image of that particular thing is being dropped at the background. Welcome to WP, that shadow you can see at the background. That's what I have said in your class, like if you see yourself in water, your image just appears on top of water, just like that. And if you apply for image, you can't see much difference, but see this, concentrate on this corner alone. In this corner I have given as, here there is no shape over here, but here you can see there is a drop shadow for this particular image in this particular corner. Fine. So we have to understand only one thing, for which filter, what is the property and what are the parameters. That alone we have to remember when writing the program. And the last filter is wave, and for wave we have only one parameter, that is strength. So I already discussed, it will come in wave format. It means like a distortion. So right click on wave, open with Internet Explorer, I'm just clicking on that allow block content, yes, and you can see that exactly like our in olden days we have a TV where you will get the image or text like this. Okay, so in a wave format. I hope so I understood that. So these are the various filters available in Java DHTML. So now I'm going to show you, this is all filters. Now we are going to see about transitions. So first we'll see we have two types of transitions, right? Blend transition and reveal transition. Now I'll show you about blend transition. There is a program over here, so don't worry about the program. I'll be sharing this program, not only this, the whole filters folder I'll be sharing in your Google Classroom. You can just go and verify over there, and you can write in your notebooks. Now if you see here, I have two functions, fade out and fade in. These are not predefined functions, they are user defined functions. I created two functions, and I created under the script tag I have created two functions. And under the style tag, we already studied about class. Hope you remember. We already studied about class, so I am using the same thing. So what I am doing here is, I am using inside the body section I am using a div tag, and for the div tag I already said this to you. For div tag we have to we can specify only for filters for blend transition. So for div tag I am giving the filter blend trans. Notice that one, BLEND, T will be capital. And after that we have only one parameter which is known as duration. So I already said this in the class. The main difference between filters and transitions is that filters are only filters which they don't have any duration or something, any time limit. but whereas transitions is also a filter, but with a time. We can specify the duration. Fine. So after that, I'm creating two buttons. First button, class. I'm using a class attribute over here. We have already studied about class. So I'm using class attribute. Even you can use ID attribute also, but instead I'm using a class attribute. Class, type is button, on click. Whenever I click on that, which function must be called out? Fade out. It will be calling this fade out function. Fine. And I'm creating one more button. And that button, that is for fade in. So one button for fade out, another button for fade in. That's it. Fine. Now, and one more thing here in the style sheet, what I have written is, for this button I have given a background color, font size and color, foreground color. That's all. So I have created two buttons. For the button I have given some style. That's it. Nothing other than that. And imagine if I click on fade out, what will happen? So T1 is nothing but our div ID, this particular div ID's value. So we have our welcome to WP, right, which in the H2 that is given under div tag, and I'm creating an ID attribute for div tag. So I'm creating T1 dot filters. I have to use filters, and here when I come I'll use filter. When I write here I'll use filters. Within the double quotes I give blended trans. You can't change this keyword. This is a keyword as it is. You have to give. T will be capital, and then dot apply. So this is so I'm applying our transition. I already discussed in the class. We have three functions: apply, and then play, and then stop. We have. So I'm using apply, and when I click on fade out, what must happen? So T1's visibility is nothing but style. So style must be hidden. So when I click on fade out, that H1, that H2 must be what? Hidden. Again when I click on fade in, that H2 must be visible. That's all. So values are given as hidden and visible. Fine. So I'll just execute it, then you can understand it clearly what I mean. So I'm going to click on this blend trans, open with Internet Explorer. See here I created two buttons, fade in and fade out. Now this welcome to WP I am given under div tag. Fine. And the div tag ID is T1. So as soon as I click fade out, now it is appearing. So I have to diminish in the background. Okay. So I'm going to click fade out. As soon as I click fade out, see what is happening. That welcome to WP is being diminished in the background, faded out. Again, if you want it back, just click on this fade in button. As soon as you click, we have already written in the program, right? If I click on fade in, it has to become again visible. But when I click on fade out, it has become hidden. So I am clicking on fade in now. Now nothing is there. I am clicking on fade in. Again that will appear. When I click fade out, it will disappear. When I click on fade in, it will appear. So already we have seen in blend transition, we have only fade in and fade out. Now we will move on to the reveal transition. Reveal transition is just similar to our blend transition, but what is happening here is we have 23 different set of transitions. Fine. So again same manner, inside the body section, this time I am using one image, and for that image I am applying the filter. I am creating an image, and for that image I am applying a filter known as reveal trans. This time I give the duration as 2. So for 2 seconds the transition will happen, and as soon as I am creating one more button, and on click I am calling the function known as call me. After the function calling, it goes to the function definition. Same manner, last time we have applied, right? My image is nothing but id of image dot filters reveal trans. I am applying the transition, and I am checking if the visibility is visible, then make it hidden. That's all. If the visibility is visible, then make it hidden. And else part, if the visibility is visible, and if the visibility is visible, make it hidden. If this condition is false, then it is hidden only, right? Then we make it visible. And notice one more point very clearly here. Here I specified 14 and here I specified 23. So already I discussed in the class, we have 23 different set of transitions. So I am giving 23 is a random, it comes anything. But 14 will be like from center it will go out. The image from center it will divide and go out. When I show you the output, you will understand. So I'll also share the different 23 transitions to you also. So I'm using this if condition. If my visibility is visible, then make it hidden. If it is not visible, then it is hidden. So at that particular point in time, make it visible. Opposite. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just execute this, go into my folder, and where is rebuild trans? Yes, right click, open with Internet Explorer. Now you can see here, execute it. Now you see the image, this is the image. When I click on transform me, this is number 14. From middle it is being going off. So earlier it was visible, now it has become hidden using the transition number 14. So that is the capability of 14. Now it has to again come back, right? When I again click on transform me, now it is hidden. Now I have to make it visible. Again when I click on transform me, you see from middle in a circular format it is fine. Fine. Again when I click transform me, now it is visible. It has to be hidden. So it will use again 14. See the same thing. It doesn't change. Again when I click on transform me, some random. Last time we got circle. Now this time we'll see what we get. See like a checker box we got. So all these things happens in our PPT normally. So even we can do in a programming manner also. So likewise 23 different set of transitions we have. 23 will select randomly. Number 23 will be selected random. Now you see it is going from the corners. Fine. I hope you understood this. So don't bother about the programs. I'll be sharing that through the classroom. Just see that I'll share the whole folder itself. If you want, you can take down the programs too. Fine. If you have any doubts, you can contact me at any time. Thank you.